Hello and welcome to Africa Here and Now, the conversation you've always wanted to have about the continent. I'm Martine Dennis. Today we have a special edition on the internationally acclaimed Ghanaian artist Ablade Glover, who's celebrating his 90th birthday with a new exhibition at London's October Gallery. Those of you who are in town, check it out, it's glorious. But I must confess to a certain bias, Ablade is something of a hero of mine. I love his work and have done so for more than 30 years. Anyway, while he was here in London, I got to sit down with him and I asked him to reflect on his more than 70 years of wielding the palette knife, because Ablade doesn't use a brush to load oils onto canvas. In our chat, he recalls a large Accra family with plenty of siblings, how Ghana's first president, Nkrumah, helped him with a scholarship to study in the UK, and how today he manages to stay out of the tumult of Ghanaian politics. He tells me how, after more than 7 decades of painting, he still goes to his studio every morning with a cup of tea. In a moment, you'll hear my conversation with Ablade Glover. But first, let's hear from another illustrious Ghanaian who opened the exhibition. Gus Casey Hayford is director of the V&A East, and he had especially warm words for this master of oil on canvas painting.
This is someone whose talent, whose generosity, whose contributions to the canon, whose critical nurturing and support of generations of artists of great talent, whose creative rigour and innovation has, across the long narrative of the visual arts, simply set him apart. And for that, I think we are all truly grateful. He captures our story, and he does it with a subtlety, with a vividness, and with an honesty, with a beauty, and with a forensic focus that is simply unlike anyone else. You can see why he's been collected by so many major international collections, why his work sits in public spaces in the major capitals of the world. It simply speaks to humanity, of humanity. It's rare to meet one's heroes. And as with any rare moment, please let's not waste it. Let's be thankful for this incomparable contribution. In a time when we need greatness, please let's together toast the exceptional, the generous, the intergenerationally talented Ablade Glover.
Ablade Glover.
Yes.
Congratulations. Very happy birthday. I know the birthday is not until actually next month.
Yes, next month.
But 90 years old.
It's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yes.
It's a long time. Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel that you've achieved everything you wanted to?
No, I don't think there's anything really that I want to achieve as such, except that I think it's a blessing that you lived long enough to see some of the things that otherwise would escape you. People I missed, we were 9 boys and a girl. And now I have lived to, unfortunately, to bury them all.
Oh, you're the last.
Yes, exactly. I'm not the last, the very last one, even though I was the 4th in 9. I was the 4th boy in 9. But I've lived to see my sister, who was great, helped a lot in my upbringing. She was number 1, really. So she was more or less like a mother.
So the eldest girl.
The eldest was a girl.
Helped to bring you up.
Yes, of course. Particularly when she got married. Her husband was particularly kind, particularly good. And my father wasn't struggling. So he did well. My sister I remember well, very well. And the others, the boys, everybody did what he must do. We were rather very knit together. And we were very close to each other. So
Now, you are an Accra-based family. You're a native of the Ghanaian capital, and that shows so clearly in your work.
It does.
Various scenes from Accra, isn't it?
When you look at the atmosphere, the hula baloo going on. Yes, yes. I remember once I was in the Shell company. They invited, we were doing something at the Shell company, and they had a very, it's still the building, it was tall. You climb up and so on. And then you look at down on Accra, it's amazing. And that also might have helped my idea of these townscapes and the escapes. I was looking down on Tubai, that's a district of Accra. And it is beautiful to see the old structures there and the new ones ringing up and so on. It's the change that is happening. You could see it in your very eyes. So it was good.
Now, we are celebrating your 90th
Yes.
birthday, and you have a new collection of very beautiful paintings.
Thank you.
But you do have a set number of themes
Yes.
that you revisit
Yes.
time and time again.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Tell us about why you do that. I'm thinking of the profile of the beautiful woman, the forests,
Yes.
the cityscapes,
Yes.
the market.
Yeah.
Why do you return and revisit?
To return to these themes. Yes, I do. No, I paint one, and by the end of finish, by the time I finish one, that canvas, there are other things that I cannot repeat on the same canvas. I got to get on that canvas. Things keep coming to you all the time. So there's no way you can end the subject. The things keep coming until I'm fed up, really. Sometimes I paint, I repeat it, then put it away. I'm fed up, get tired of it, then I start another subject.
So is it a quest for perfection? Are you improving it as you go along or adding
I
something?
wouldn't say it's perfection, or rather that to see it in some other angle. I don't know what you call angle, how I can describe that. But yes, want to see it in some other light, some other way. The same subject, the same thing. It's very, 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 very much so in the market, where you see the market in the morning, the vibrancy. By noontime and by the evening time, you see the market dying. You can almost see the market dying. The life, the energy seem to be going away. So these are things rather subtle, but it's possible to capture them. So there's no end to it. When it's going to rain in the market, everybody's running, and there's helter-skelter. You don't know where to run to, and that kind of thing. Or sometimes a dull market, nothing happens, something's coming in, and so on. The lorry stations are dead, and so on.
So it seems to me that it's the vibrancy,
yes,
the hustle and bustle of city life that you like.
Yes, but those are the things that keep changing. Balance at different times of the day, different attitudes of the weather, the people.
There's a rhythm, isn't there?
There's rhythm. When you call it rhythm, yes, exactly. There are things that happen. You see the changes, and it does affect the mood of the market, and you try to capture that kind of thing.
So, Ablade Glover, after 70 years of painting, are you painting differently now? I mean, you were famed for using thick oils on canvas.
Yes.
Are you painting differently?
Yeah, I'm painting very, very different. I see, particularly when people bring the old paintings that they bought somewhere in 1970 or 1980, and they bring it for some reason. Possibly sometimes there are some cracks or at some point, and they bring it for you to check. And when I see this, did I paint that? You see your signature. And I don't mean that just a written signature, but you see yourself in it. You know that, yes, I painted that. Wow, when was this? You look at it. Ooh, that's how it's that. It's so particular when I went out from here, from Central School, and I went back home.
Because you trained here in London?
Yes, I trained here in London at the Central School, Central St. Martin. And I was dull. I was afraid to use a color. But somehow, when you squeeze the color from the tube onto the palette and you look at it, I was afraid to use it. And now, hey, listen, I rather use it's how and this kind of mood or thing, you don't realize when it's happening. It's when it's happened that you notice that, hey, I've become a wild one,
So it's been a
Red.
gradual process, has it?
Possibly. Red, I didn't want to touch at all. Now, red has become my...
It's your signature.
Exactly. It's your signature. But if you look at that early ones, and the 70s, like, for example, today, hey, you found this man, something's wrong with him. He has moved. Yeah. But it has to possibly do with the atmosphere. I live here, and the color is not here.
London is a bit grey.
London is grey. When you use red, people look at you. You must be crazy. Then you get to another atmosphere, another environment, and you find wherever you turn color. You can. I believe these are the things that have affected my moods at different times and different locations.
All right, so you're ablaze with color now. We can
Yes.
see in the new collection.
Now I can see. I can. When I see red, that's the color I want to use. Chat and pine. Put it there.
And what about your routine in terms of how productive are you on a daily basis or a weekly basis? Do you go to the studio every day?
Every day, even just to drink my tea. I get up early in the morning. By 5, I'm up. I make my own cup of tea. I go to the studio and sit there. Some of the time, I don't feel like working because I have nothing pushing you. But you get there and then you see a canvas sitting, and hey, God, you see it. That's all you need. Just splash in there.
Inspiration comes.
Inspiration. You call it inspiration. You see, something. Now that canvas can be finished today. So immediately you start to work. Sometimes I wouldn't be dressed. I would still be in my morning coat, and with a cup of tea. I didn't think I was going to work. But then you go to get. So you have my clothes, also color. The clothes I wear to work, the clothes I wear daily. You never know when you're going to work. And I work all the time, most of the time. And it is, I think it is life in itself. It keeps you alive. It's a very studio, maybe that kept me alive to this day. Yeah.
Now, you're famed for not using a paintbrush. You use a palette knife.
That's right.
You splodge oil onto canvas.
As if you manufacture it yourself.
And your canvases are full of texture.
Yes, exactly. Because of the thickness of the palette knife gives an instant rendering. Pick the color, put it on the canvas, and if you don't like it, somebody put a blue there. No. You can scrape it off and put it on the side so that there is no stopping. The brush, this what I discovered when I first picked the knife. The brush stops you to clean it. You got to clean the brush in. It takes time. And by that time, that inspiration, that thing you see had gone, So I had stuck to the palette knife. It instantly registers your emotion, your emotion, your inner self. And if it lands and it's not what you intend, you can scrape it, take it off immediately. So it goes on and off and on off. And hey, you reach a point where, wow, I like it. And that's it. You feel like you like it.
You're also famed for your teaching.
Yeah, well,
you taught, I think when I first met you, decades ago, you were in Kumasi.
Yes, exactly.
How important has that been to your development as an artist, but also to you as a person? Because you enjoyed teaching, I think.
No, I didn't enjoy teaching much. Particularly teaching that has to do with you standing there and lecturing. I didn't like it much. I didn't like the crowd gathering around me, so many eyes looking at you, sort of thing. But I like the teaching where students were involved with doing things, particularly when we were doing textiles. I was just talking to him about my textile experience, where things were happening, where we had invited some guests to the university, and I was demonstrating the dyeing process. We were doing batik dyeing process. And then I forgot something. The thing was not dyeing. We put the materials which had been waxed into the thing, into the wash, and it wasn't dyeing. And I was scratching my head, and all of my students were around me, and the others who were there, all they wanted to see what's happening. But then immediately I remember it occurred to me that, there's a chemical I needed to put in the water first. And, it can be embarrassing. Now, this is a whole professor.
So you didn't like teaching that much. Okay, I'm mistaken.
I liked working together. And I think that's had been my teaching.
But also, I mean, I suppose that follows on naturally from that is the fact that you're renowned for your encouragement to younger artists.
Yes.
And you brought on so many, and you curate so much of their work in your own gallery in Accra.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that's obviously very important to you as well.
Yes. I thought, I was coming to retirement. And I wasn't coming to retirement to sit down there and die, which was there to come. No. Indeed, my wife really was particular about that. So we came to Accra. The idea was to come to Accra, start something with the artists. And that's how we came by the name, the Artists Alliance. We thought we were gathering all the artists, build a gallery, and we run it as artists. And they were, very, very happy about that. And everybody would want to join. We'll do this, we'll do that kind of thing. But when it came to the point where we got the land, and we were going to build, this going to cost so much. We got the professionals, architects to design things, and going to cost so much. Nobody wants to come. Yeah, and at the time we had registered the company as Artists Alliance, because that's what it was going to be, and the Artists Alliance coming together to do their own thing. And we were disappointed. But again, I'll say it was my wife. Well, she wasn't disappointed at all. She thought maybe. And we met a man, Nana Kobina, a chief, who said, well, that's lucky. If you had continued like that and you had finished the thing, there would have been a lot of trouble later, fighting over shares and all that. So maybe it's good. They didn't join. They joined, but they didn't join. So that you did it alone.
So it's a solo venture.
Yes, exactly. So that's what happened. So, but we couldn't go back on the records to change names. We thought that's it's a process. You paid fees and all that, but a name is a name after all. So we kept the name Artists Alliance. And it confuses a lot of people. A lot of people do ask. It's just that we came upon a name.
Well, you do curate other artists' work.
I do.
I've been in the gallery many times.
Yes. We do. Once a while, we exhibit one-man shows. Artists come, they want to. Recently, we finished one. Ben Agbe's work. In fact, he wasn't even a student. He was one of the street artists. But he's been consistently painting, and I found his work interesting. So we invited him and we showed his work. Yes, I look at anybody who is practicing, not only my students who are to be the university. There are others. Now, those from the university who have got jobs and they are working, they are leaving their jobs. Most of them have left their jobs, in fact. Those we started with. And they are now working full-time studio, which is, for me, is my satisfaction. And I could see the artists we are training. They are working and they are finding it useful that they trained as artists. Yes.
Very interesting you say that, because the last time I was in Accra, I noticed that there are a lot more galleries in the city than before.
Oh, yeah.
How has the art scene and appreciation of artists changed in Ghana, would you say?
It has changed. Some has monetary reasoning. Many businessmen who have money, they think you come to the art and you build a house, or you open somebody's garage and you can call it a studio, an art gallery. And if you want an art gallery, you actually invest and got to present the art on a positive side. That's what I keep telling them. And we get a lot of these, some few people with money. They come in, they build a place or they hire a place, and then they think they invite the artists. And we are the artists are always happy to see somebody with a space. So they ran, particularly somebody with a space and money. So we all ran to them. Particularly those who are not selling too well. They're always running from place to place, from the gallery to gallery. But I know that when you don't do it well, it won't end well. Their art has to be catered for properly. That is, you invest in it, investment in creating the space, an atmosphere where you show the work, and people come in, people are amazed,
So would you say that there is more appreciation?
Yes. Oh, sure. There is more appreciation. People are beginning to wake up to it. Hey, wow, let's go there and see what's happening there. People come like that. They have no idea of art. But they themselves don't practice anything. But they say, hey, they say an art gallery here. So they come in, and simply people are amazed. And that is my satisfaction when I see people. Wow, hey, I like that too. Then you ask him, what do you like? What do you see? Oh, yeah, it's nice. It's amazing. Yes, people are appreciating this. People are appreciating this poetry.
One of the great problems for African art is about the level of funding it gets from governments.
Oh, yeah.
The lack of funding has been one of the major issues in terms of promoting and encouraging artists and their work. Is that changing?
Oh, it's not only government. It's changed a lot. I can tell you, when we started building a gallery, our money got short because we were building at seafront, the second gallery, we built at the seafront. And the city has a rule that to build an art gallery or to build anything there, you've got to do a sea defense. Now, sea defense alone is more than a building. And we spent our money. So we had no money. We couldn't finish. Now, suddenly we got institutions like Ford Foundation. The rep was living in Nigeria then. And she came and asked what we were doing. We described it and said, wow, she was very excited about it. And she promised us money. When she went to Nigeria, she sent us a check, So yes, there is that kind of encouragement, if it's real encouragement. That's if you are doing something real, improving the atmosphere in the art scene. Yes, people do come to help. Then there are the people who are really art enthusiasts. There are a few art enthusiasts who come and they give you money. Which area? What's your problem here? Can I help? Can you come in? And they give you a check.
Because in Western markets in recent years, there's been a surge of interest in African art.
Oh, yes, exactly.
And I'm wondering, does that filter down? Do you get a sense of that in Accra, in the studio when you're working?
I think I do. I think we do. Artists do enjoy a lot of patronage today than when we were practicing. When I was really a young artist practicing, you wouldn't get anybody giving you a space. I remember my second or third exhibition, I was trying to plan out money. I couldn't get a space at the art center, which is the cheapest place. I had to hire a room at the Ambassador Hotel, and you got them his money. You got to pay, and by the time you pay, you hold the exhibition, you get some money, but then it goes into Ambassador Hotel. It's that's how hard it was in the beginning. Today, people offer. People all do offer spaces. Even they are doing party. Recently, Emmy, EMY, they call them Emmy award. They gave me an award some time ago. And recently they were doing something. They hired a whole big space at the Accra Conference Center. And we were invited. And that one, when there's a big space and the work is hanging there, one of these 60 by 60 things hanging there, you feel proud of yourself. You feel proud of yourself. So yes, today is different. We're getting encouragement from national and international bodies. who are doing things and they want to see their art. So yes, they are. Today is different. It's much, very, very different from years ago.
So how important would you say is the role of the artist in terms of a nation's or a people's identity? I mean, what's your role within a society like in Ghana, where you're experiencing perhaps the worst economic conditions you've had for a generation or so?
I see myself as, would you say, recording the temperature of the culture. What's happening, what's happening, and how it's affecting people. So I paint things that are changing. Like one of the subjects I painted recently, I painted a couple of canvases, and I've not had the courage to to exhibit them because I was painting the street scene. When you go and you feel like you're paying, you just turn around and then you unzip and then I painted a couple, and I have not had the courage to display them because that's not positive, is it? So things like that. The artist notices things. I notice things. I notice the change. Hey, what's happening there? What they're doing, and that kind of thing. And then some may be funny, some may be negative, some may be positive. But that's the artist in you.
And coming back to the fact that you've reached a significant age, and you've seen your country go from British colony to independence in 1957 through military coups, civilian rule.
Yeah.
I mean, Ghana is now considered as a stable democracy in West Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a huge question, I know, but how would you sort of how would you characterize the progress or the development of Ghana through these years?
So when you use the word progress, it means you are beginning to judge. You simply put on canvas the mood of the nation today, the mood of the people. When you talk with the market, you talk about the mood of the market, how it is changing, how it's happening, and so on. And it's enough. You made your statement, your judgment, that this thing has changed to that thing has changed to that. This is more red, this is more yellow. People are vibrant, more vibrant, people are happier. You see it. And these are some of the things you record. And whoever likes it, fine. Whoever doesn't like it, it's a problem. It's not mine. Yes, but it's interesting, though, that people draw you or tell you sometimes what to do. Maybe it's dragging you to politics. You want to make a statement that is as good for their party or for their thinking. But I try to get away from that. I paint what I like, take it or leave it. That's what I like. So if I see people peeing along the street, I'll paint it.
So what does the future hold? What would you like to do next, Professor Ablade Glover?
No. I'm still painting. I'm still painting very much. And I think I'll continue that. I already saw my vision, my impression of what is happening within the society, the culture, and register as faithfully as I can what is there comes out of me. I'll continue doing that. I'm not expecting anybody to give me marks for that, But in time, people will recognize what I've done. If it's were any contribution, they will know it. People will know it. I don't think the judgment today will be fair. Maybe tomorrow. Today, people, but when Nkrumah was there, I didn't like him very much. He helped me. I was one of the few people he helped right from the beginning to the very end when I went to maybe. But somehow my family, I've been raised in the opposition. Yeah, that is my parents. I come from a chieftaincy house, and Nkrumah was against the chiefs, quote, not against them, but he wasn't positive with chiefs and that kind of. So my family didn't like him very much. So I was raised in that atmosphere. And it's still there. It's a different way of life, or way of examining situations. If people like it, take it. If they don't like it, forget it. That's my attitude to my work. I've seen people who really have encouraged me from the very beginning. Shirley Du Bois, who brought me to Central School, she was a teacher.
The wife of W.E. Du Bois.
Yes, Mrs. Du Bois saw my work, and she took me by hand like this, took me to Nkrumah and told him, hey, that's the boy I talked to you about. I was myself afraid of Nkrumah because I know that Nkrumah hadn't got a good name. They say he killed people. I mean, that's a rumor in town. It's not good. But that's the rumor about him. And he said, oh, wow, how are you? And I said, I'm well. When I was saying, well, I'm moving away from him. But he gave me my second scholarship to Newcastle. And then from Newcastle, I came to the university. And then, of course, the Americans, AAI, African American Institute, they gave me my that scholarship to study in the US. And, it has been helpful. Listen, I'm most grateful to those people. I'm one person who must always just say thank you. It's amazing. It's just depends. Look at the background. Today, anybody coming from my part of society at the time wouldn't be able to reach where I got simply by working or by hard work or what. No. Somebody has got to pick you and help you. And that's the kind of people I've met all along.
If you hadn't been a painter, what do you think you would have been? What would Ablade Glover have been?
I'm glad. Listen, when I was young, nobody, maybe Kofi Nkrumah was there, but nobody who's an artist was inspiring, no. So I wasn't wishing to be an artist. If anything, I wanted to be like Dr. Dankwa, or the Professor Busia, These were the names. And I think I was intelligent enough to, if I had got the help along that line, I would have gone that way. Easy. But when I finished Standard 7, which is about 18 years old, and I finished Standard 7, the way forward is closed. It's dark. You can't see any way forward. The only opening there, anybody wanted, Nkrumah wanted so many teachers and was training a horde of teachers. And therefore, everybody who went to teacher training is accepted for teacher training, gets paid. Full scholarships plus money in your pocket. Now, if you don't take this, you don't like this, what do you have to like? So that's the only thing I took. I wanted to go on, not necessarily to be a teacher, not necessarily to be an artist. I didn't see any art in my way at all. It was rather in teacher training, in the classroom, you teach everything. We were taught art, we were taught this, we were taught that. So there a door opened that I followed, and here I am. So yes, I would have been a lawyer or a doctor or any of those big names. No, I wouldn't have been an artist if I had my way. If my parents had the money, I would go to a secondary school. After secondary school, I'll go to whatever, not an artist. But I am glad. I'm very glad that all those obstacles that stopped me from being a doctor or this were rather blessings that guided my way. It pushed you this way, hey, this way, don't go this way, go this way. Until at the end, I became an artist, a practicing artist.
Well, Professor Ablade Glover, we're very glad that you became the practicing artist that you are today.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So nice to talk to you.
Well, nice seeing you again and talking to you. Thank you.
Professor Ablade Glover, as he celebrates his 90th birthday with an exhibition at London's October Gallery, Go and see it if you're in town. I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to hear more of our conversations, go to our website, www.AfricaHere&NOW.com. You can also get us on YouTube. Remember to subscribe and share with your family and friends. We're available on all major audio platforms as well as on your smart speaker. Follow us on the socials, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on X at Martine Dennis. Do get in touch, martine@AfricaHere&NOW.com. We recorded the interview on July the 5th when Professor Glover was in London. Anne Busby is our producer. Our original music is by Enric Adam. Tevin Suri and Charlie Panton put it all together. From me, Martine Dennis, thank you for your company.